Hey Dave, I know we just had a conversation in the last video about commitment, and we started talking about it after we had the conversation, and just we got another layer that we wanted to share with you.
Yes.
And one of the things that comes to mind when I think about really committing to something, and specifically a person, is it really creates intimacy. And
Mm,
intimacy in the sense that you're committed to the challenge of that relationship. You're committed to the support of that relationship, and you're committed to working through things together. And we talked about how that creates this beautiful opening to be more ourselves, to
right.
be vulnerable, and to really just show who we are with someone when we can really just commit to, okay, I'm committed to these challenges. So I'd love to hear more about, what you see with your clients, your thoughts about how that commitment just opens up the space for more intimacy in a relationship.
Yeah. In my own experience, in my life, it's, it creates that when you can be vulnerable with someone enough to just be able to show up and just be yourself and speak your truth and feel like you've got a safe container to do that in, to be vulnerable. I think that's what the commitment kind of brings to the table is it gives you that foundation to where I can show up and just be me. I can just speak my truth and I can just show up and I know I'm going to be loved. And I know even though we might still have challenges, I know that because we're committed to something, that it gives me the space that I can just be opened up. And that to me now opens up whole new doors in the relationship to experience new things you might have never experienced with someone before, or new adventures, or new intimacy that because there wasn't that commitment created and that safe space and that vulnerability created, that maybe you shied away from opening up to those things. And so, if you're looking to really expand that level of intimacy with your partner, you want to create that container of commitment to where I have my values, you have your values. We love each other for that. We show up each other for that. We speak in each other's values, and we're committed to helping each other fulfill those values in life. Now, see what happens with creating that vulnerable space to just be open to, go places you've never gone before in a relationship.
Yeah, I love that. And the next thing I was going to ask you, what specifically do you do? But what I'm hearing is it's really knowing yourself first.
Mhm.
Know who you are, know what your values are, and what you're committed to in your life.
Yeah.
Then knowing what your partner's committed to, what are their highest values, what's most meaningful to them. And then together as a couple, what does
Mm.
that look like for the vision of both your independent but interdependent lives together, so that whatever you're creating, you are also have this shared vision of what that looks like. And what me and my partner do is we'll actually go through the different areas of life, our health, our wealth, our businesses, our finances. And it's like, what would we love to have, individually, but then also together? And how does that look like when we support each other? And what's our commitment towards each other to keep ourselves accountable to those things that we're committed to? And that's when something that's new for me in a relationship. It's also been super exciting, and creates, just as you said, this beautiful stability in the relationship that both you and your partner are committed to something, you're working towards common goals, and also keeping each other accountable at the same time. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on what you do and how you expand on that.
I think one of the keys here is when you're getting into a relationship with someone is to try not to put them on a pedestal by seeing that they have things that you don't, or put them in a pit by seeing you have things that they don't, and do the work around seeing the power that you both have to show up. Because if you put someone on a pedestal, then you're going to subordinate yourself and probably not speak your truth and be scared to be who you are because you might upset them. And then if you put yourself on a pedestal and they're in a pit, then you have a tendency to walk all over them and not honor their values. And so I think one of the groundworks for people and couples is to really get clear on each other's values and get them off the pedestal and the pit and get them in your heart so you can see that you both are equal and aligned. And then now you have the recipe to be able to open up communication, because you're not afraid of losing them. Okay. Because when you have them on a pedestal, you're afraid of losing them. So you try to be real careful. Right. And so I think that's such a great thing, because otherwise you're not going to be speaking your truth. And then if you don't speak your truth, eventually you build resentment. And then as the resentment builds, you start cutting off communication, and one thing leads to another, and you have a knockdown drag out. I mean, that's the common thing I see with couples. And so the groundwork is to get to know you, get to know your partner, and get to appreciate each other's values and power, so you can speak your truth and be vulnerable.
Yeah, I think that's so well said. And what's just popping in my mind right now is I've been working with clients this week that, did you just get a juicy text? um, is one of the things that I'm noticing with my clients is they've been a certain way for a period of time, and they've had, all these shifts, especially with COVID and all these transition, maybe a new job, new relationship, is they actually are struggling to know who they actually are. And they don't even know what that means. So if you're watching this and you're like, I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't know like what my values are, or like I have an idea, but I just don't feel certain that these are my values.
Right.
This is something that we can help you with. This is something that we're experts at, and really helping you understand authentically who you are, and essentially allowing you to see the beauty and magnificence of who you are as you are, versus pretending to be something that you're not, which again can create a whole host of challenges in relationships, especially if you're looking to create a new one or revitalize one that you're currently in.
That's so well said. So I think that's some great tips. So send us a message if you're having struggles, you want to learn more. Let us help you through these transitions. And because I think it's a beautiful part of life, is when you can create a connection with someone and a commitment, and learn to navigate life together. I think it's one of the greatest challenges I think we can have as humans. So.
Yeah, greatest challenges, but again, incredibly rewarding when you do have those moments where it's just like, yeah, I'm committed to you, you're committed to me, and this is incredibly powerful. So
well said. All right. Thanks again. Beautiful conversation again.
Awesome. Thanks, Doc.
See you soon.